you know, sometimes knitting is what we have to hold on to and to bring us comfort and to help us feel stability when there's other things out of our control. Hey everyone, it's Natalie, also known as Knitty Natty. Welcome to episode 141 of the Love in Stitches podcast. Today is Tuesday, May 17th or 16th or something like that. And it is a warm and sunny day here in New York City. All of a sudden the weather has just changed and it's like spring, summer is coming. Actually, when does summer start? I think it starts in June, which is next month. I don't know. The weather is warm all of a sudden and it makes it really, really hot here in the apartment. So it has begun the time where I sweat for the podcast. Actually, it's not so bad today because I've had the air conditioning on right up until I started recording. So by the end, I might be a little bit warm. No knitwear on today. Again, it is warm outside. I think it's only like 70 degrees. Outside, it's beautiful. Just makes it really warm here in the apartment. So I am wearing one of my Love in Stitches t-shirts. I linked this one down below. I think it's one of the women's cut ones. So I'm wearing a medium, fits pretty tight, fits more like a small. So just make sure to either go up a size or just get whatever size you get in women's cuts. I have this specific t-shirt linked, but I always have my Love in Stitches spread shop linked as like one of the bottom links in all of my videos, so you can check out all the other merch there. And we're gonna have new stuff coming soon for Sock Week, so get excited because it's a really, really cute logo. I'm gonna be revealing it soon, and I am so excited to get all the merchandise up for that. I don't think there's anything else that, oh, one other thing, I guess. This is not that exciting to anybody but me, I think, but where I am sitting is between my bed and like our wall air conditioning unit, and then what you can't see behind the camera is my desk, and I have a wooden floor. And so I have been sitting here podcasting for over a year now. We've been in this apartment for a year, and only a few weeks ago, actually Kent pointed it out that there are a lot of scratches from me rolling my computer chair back away from my desk to record the podcast. I have like one of those plastic floor mats underneath my desk, but I didn't have it in the area where I was like scooting back from my desk in order to record. So I now have two plastic floor mats on the floor. I put it on my Instagram stories. It looks kind of silly. It's basically just like two floor mats, like one underneath the other. So now I can roll around, shift around, podcast to my heart's content without scratching up the floor. So you can't see it, but it is part of the podcast. And now I feel a lot more comfortable. I mean, I don't feel more comfortable, but I feel happy that I'm not going to scratch up the floor anymore in this next year while we live in this apartment. I think that's everything for the intro. So let's get on to the project. I don't have anything finished this week, but I do have a lot of progress on my other whips. So I am like so impressed with myself, patting myself on the back, but I did get a lot of knitting time this weekend. I also feel like I had finished objects 2 weeks in a row, which is pretty good, I think, you know, like I feel like I'm at a good pace of like finishing things, starting things, finally getting into a groove. I have my little journal that I have been keeping track of my progress for the week. Actually, let me just grab that. So I showed this in the first podcast of the month in May, and I actually think I'm gonna do a video where I specifically talk about how I'm doing my project planning right now, and like projects I'm planning for the summer. Where is this? But I have been looking at this every time I podcast to kind of check in weekly on my progress. Hang on, it's taking me a second to find this in my cute little notebook that I write in almost every day. That's not it. Promise oh, here we go. Okay, so I have just something that I've written down in May knitting plans. I put all of my whips, all of my finished objects, and then I have just been like marking off the progress that I have made each week. So I'll kind of talk about this as I go through my different projects today, but this has been really helpful for me to actually work on all of my different whips. so let's get to the first one. Enough chat. Let's show some yarn. So the first project that I have been working on just a ton, and I'm actually getting really, really close to done, is my Something Cozy. Let me see, who's the designer? Yes. So this is Something Cozy by Shayna Billow, and it is a Chelsea Yarns yarn and kind of like umbrella pattern. So it's this big, can I roll all the way back? Oh, still on my little mat. It is a huge, oversized top. I'm making the extra small, which if I was making a fitted sweater, I would be probably more like a medium. So this is just a really oversized pattern here. And I am loving it. I have done so much since last week. I've been working on this like crazy. It's just stockinette. It's in pieces. I did the back. Okay, so here's something else we have to talk about. So I have 4 skeins of my Cozy DK weight yarn. It's a DK weight yarn. This one, held together with a mohair. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about the yarns and then I'll go back to what I was gonna say about how it's looking. So these are both Chelsea Luxe yarns. The DK weight is Luxe Cozy DK, and I have all this on my project page too, and the color is Chelsea's Coupe. I found a label that had the name on it because I think last week I didn't have a label with the name on it. And then this is a mohair in a different color. It's still the same dyer though, Chelsea Luxe, and the color is rose gold, and that's the Luxe mohair. So I'm holding them together, and I have 4 of the DK weight yarns, but I didn't do a good job checking them to see if they were a similar color. So I have 3 that are really similar and 1 that was much lighter looking. Let me see if I can find it here. Actually, yeah, here we go. So here's the other basket. So these, let me pull all this out, kind of have things like, I was working on the back and the front at the same time, so I had them in their own project bags, but now they're both finished and together, so I just have one project bag again. So, well, I guess they're all a little bit different, but you can definitely tell that this one here is a whole lot lighter than the others. So I wish I had done a better job checking in on that before I purchased the yarn. However, whenever you get hand-dyed yarn, just expect that you should need to, pay really close attention to it, maybe alternate your yarns, or probably always alternate your yarns. But what you shouldn't do is alternate in one spot when they're very different and not alternate in another spot. I guess not saying you shouldn't do it, but here's what happens when you do. So on the front, I used 1 skein of yarn and I didn't alternate, and you can see I have some pretty cool pooling. It kind of looks like a diamond. Anyway, the speckles are like kind of random with a little bit of color pooling. This is all from 1 skein. On the back, I alternated, and I have a definitive stripy look from those 2 skeins. Both skeins have like lighter and darker in them, but because I was alternating, it looks a lot different. Now, I don't think it's like that bad. When I noticed it, I was like, well, duh, Natalie, like you're alternating, it's gonna stripe, it's gonna look different than the side that I didn't alternate, but I didn't think it looked different enough or bad enough to change things, especially because 1 piece is on the back and 1 piece is on the front. If they had been like 2 fronts next to each other, might have considered changing it, but I think overall, yes, they're different, but you're not really going to like stare at them and realize that. So there you go, lesson learned. If you're gonna alternate, probably just alternate for the whole thing, or pick yarns that look more similar. So I made a lot of progress, and I finished both the front and back pieces. I was down here with my adorable toaster stitch marker from, I think it's the Littlest Charm Co. She's got toaster stitch markers and can also do custom ones for your pets. So I did a ton of knitting on the back. I didn't realize how much I had done. That's pretty crazy. I did a ton of knitting on the back. On the front, I was up to the neckline, and then I just had to do both like shoulders, and then I seam them together. So this is a very simple, easy pattern, but I have made a couple changes and I've kept notes on my Ravelry page. One of the changes that I made is just for ease. So instead of binding off and then seaming at the shoulders, and you can do this on lots and lots of patterns, I left all of my stitches live for the front and back pieces and flipped things inside out and did a 3-needle bind off. So I did a 3-needle bind off across, you can't even really see it, but it creates some structure, which is a lot of times why you will bind off and seam something, is for structure instead of grafting at the shoulders. So if you 3-needle bind off, you still get that structure. So I did a 3-needle bind off across one shoulder with the front and back stitches, then just regular bound off on the back of the neck, and then 3-needle bind off here. You can do it all in one go with one piece of yarn. Just keep yarn attached to your back piece. It is such a game changer. It makes it so much easier because I don't love seaming. I am gonna have to seam like sleeve down on this, but I don't know, I just like doing that so much more, that 3-needle bind off. So did that, and then I started on the sleeve just yesterday, the first sleeve, and it was super quick. I did make my sleeve a little bit longer, I think, again, because this is a size extra small, and I'm not technically like a small person. I'm 5'6", so I'm a little bit taller. I needed some more length. I think I might be regretting that I didn't add a little more length to the body too, but it is a crop sweater, so I'm just gonna have to see how it blocks out. But I finished one sleeve here, and it's knit attached, but flat, so I have to seam everything up. And then I started on the second sleeve here. So I have done so much, and I have a ton of yarn left. So I think I'm gonna just be able to use this one skein for the sleeves and the neckline, and I'll still have some left over, quite a bit left over. So I don't think I needed all the skeins, and I also had enough to do more length if I needed it or wanted to add it. I don't know if I could really add it in a good way, so we'll just see how it comes out. But I have just so enjoyed knitting this for the yarn. It's so cozy, so comfy, and it's just nice to have something very simple in stockinette. So yeah, it's coming together. I'm really hoping to actually be done with it. So you can see how it goes together, and then you'll seam the sleeve and side seam. So this is a pattern again by Shayna Billow. I'll have it linked. And I just have a sleeve and then the neckline to go. There's a couple different necklines you can choose from, and I'm planning to do a fold over hem just to finish things off really nicely. And it's gonna be, oh, it's so cozy and soft. This yarn is just super, super great. I just love it. So I am thoroughly enjoying this. And as far as my schedule goes, my plan for this week was to do 10 inches starting like on Sunday. So 10 inches this week, and then start the sleeves next week. So I'm actually well ahead of schedule, which is good because I'm just realizing now so I like dated out for the month of May, and I included May 29th, which is basically the first week of June, because there's only a few days of May. I mean, I want to finish this in May, so basically I included the last 3 days of May as like a week. So it's kind of good that I'm ahead of schedule because I don't technically have a full week there, I guess. But anyway, I'm ahead of schedule here. I'm working on the sleeves already, and I really think I can just finish this up this week because I'm so close. I want to just keep on going. That is my goal. You know how long it takes to like do the picking up of the sleeves and the finishing work? I was like, I need to just go while I'm excited about it. So I spent almost all of my lunch hour marking and picking up where the sleeves go. And so I was glad to just get that going. And then I know similar for the neckline, it's going to take a little while to get things picked up and going, and then seaming. Oh, that's the last thing I wanted to talk about. I'm not sure what yarn to use to seam. You don't have to use the exact same yarn when you're doing a mattress stitch because it's invisible. And this yarn is pretty like breakable. I think I'm gonna have a hard time because of its texture using it to seam. So I'm considering using the mohair doubled up because it's a little bit stronger. Maybe not. I don't know. I thought maybe I would find a similar color in like a fingering weight in my stash and just try that. And if it's too visible, I can pull it out. Technically, it won't be visible, and I think it would be nice to use a smooth, strong yarn for the seaming. It would just make it so much easier. So if you have any tips or recommendations, let me know in the comments, and I will keep you posted next week with what I use, because I do plan on having this thing finished. It's now getting way too big to fit into my regular project bags. I guess I should pull out my larger float tote, but I just keep doing this and having it squished away. So that was project number 1. Lots to share on that one. Okay, next up, I have put in a lot of work on my brioche project. So for the Love and Stitches membership in May and June, we are doing a brioche challenge project, which just meant that individually we all picked brioche patterns that we wanted to work on, and we started them May 1st and we're trying to finish them by June 30th. So this is not a project that I want to complete in May, and I definitely won't because I still have a long way to go, but I am making good progress on it every single week. It's my nightly project that I work on. I alternate with another project that I'm about to show. So this is the Unda shawl by Leslie Ann Robinson, and it may be not pronounced that way, but it's U-N-D-A, and it will be linked below. And it is so pretty. I'll talk about the yarns in a second, but I think I like this side the most because it has the bright speckles. So it's got this amazing brioche cable that is extending out. This is the bottom point of the shawl. And then it's got a 2-color garter. And because I've picked 2 very similar colors, the garter stitch doesn't really look like 2 distinct yarns, which I really like. It's just blending together nicely. The plain side is pretty, like the solid yarn side, pretty subtle. And I think that's why I like this side the most, but brioche is reversible, so it doesn't really matter which side I like because they're both gonna be visible. Like I can have either one forward. So here's where I was last week. I was using my cute little shark macaroon. Can't remember who that's from. Might be Della Dino, but I'm not sure. Della Dino. So yeah, I made a lot of progress this weekend. As with all shawls, the longer they get, not all shawls I guess, but with a lot of shawls, the more rows you do, the wider they get, so it starts to slow down. So I feel pretty good about making that much progress. So let's talk about these yarns. I am using a single ply from Trey Liz, and I've pulled out my float tote cups because I didn't have any more yarn cozies and just put them in my project bag here. So as always, I don't remember which one is which, but the 2 yarns are the same dyer and same base. I just can't remember which color is which. So they're both Trey Liz in the Zeus 100% Superwash Merino fingering weight. One color is I'm a Grenade. That might be the brighter one, but I'm not sure. And one color is Beautiful Liar. If you look at my project page, I took a picture of the yarns with the labels facing, so you can tell which color is which. I just knew I wasn't gonna remember, so I haven't even bothered to try remembering. Anyway, I have really enjoyed working on this project, and I'm getting close-ish, I think, to where I'll have basically another set of cables. Like I keep increasing and then I'll have like another set of cables, so it'll be like 2 cables side by side. It's a really, really cool shawl. It's really, really beautiful. The 2 colors that the designer, did I say Leslie Ann Robinson? Leslie Ann Robinson is the designer. The 2 colors that they used for the sample were really subtle, like they were maybe like a tan and a white or something that really close to each other. So that's what inspired me to use these 2 colors for this shawl. So thoroughly enjoying that, working on it usually every other day in the evening for an hour or so, and it's making, I've been able to make lots of progress with that. Okay, my next project is my other evening project. So I've called these like my maintenance projects because I'm not trying to finish them this month. I just want to work on them at least a little bit every single week, and alternating these 2 projects in the evening has been working out pretty well, although I got way more done on them on the weekend just because the brioche and then what I'm about to show are kind of hard to knit and crochet on while watching TV. So I think that's why my something cozy sweater got a lot of progress. But here is my another whip. This is the Tessellation tee by Stephanie Aaron, and I just love picking it up and looking at it. It's so cool. So this is a colorwork yoked short sleeve top. The designer is Stephanie Aaron, and it is a crochet colorwork top. This is my first time doing crochet colorwork, and I am floating my yarns here. And they look a little wrinkly because, well, a couple things. One, this yarn is, I'm reusing it, so it's a little frogged, and two, I'm giving lots of space for stretch when I block things. So maybe a little too much, but I'm doing my best not to make things tight. And honestly, the color work is getting a lot more comfortable. It's not like I can't like look away from it. I don't think you could probably really ever look away from color work, but it's getting a lot more comfortable and feels more natural than even when I was doing the first bit last week. Now this progress keeper I know for sure is the Della Dino. I think it's Della Dino. I know I always say that wrong, but they're actually coming back. They've been on a break for a long time and they're actually coming back. So I'm so excited to get more markers from them. So yeah, I made a decent amount of progress. This is a slow going project and definitely one I have to be like looking at my chart, but I'm really proud of myself for the progress that I have made so far. Let's do another try on. I love with crochet, you can just throw it on and try it on. So I don't know, I'm like not even halfway through my yoke. So I'm gonna have to pay close attention to the sizing of things because I know my row gauge is a little bit off and I might even be taking off some of the chart. Maybe, we'll see. Just to kind of make sure that it does fit and it's not too oversized or too long or anything. But I think so far, so good. And that's a great part about crochet is you can be trying it on. In the Love and Stitches membership, we're also doing a garment CAL. So this is my project for that. And I think I'm gonna have to hustle really to finish this by the end of June, but I really want to. And once I get through all the color work, the rest of the body is just the one color. Oh yeah, we need to talk about the yarns. So my main color is the pink, so the rest of the body will be in the pink. And I don't have a label for it, but it's Madeline Tosh Twist Light. Is it Twist Merino Light or Twist Light? I'm not sure. I think I put it in my project page, but the color is copper pink. And then my contrast color I got recently, and it's Malabrigo, and I do have the label for that. It's Malabrigo Sock in the color Eggplant, and I just need one skein for the yoke. And I've got it in my Crochet Yarn Cozy, which is actually going to start testing next week. So that'll be really exciting. So that project is going nicely. I've got one more thing to show, one more whip, real quickly, in my Black Pearl Magic bag. Actually, this was a Black Pearl Magic bag too. So nothing too exciting here, but I have been working on a vanilla sock for our friend Brian, and I did quite a bit from my Pop-Tart. Not a ton, but I did work on it this weekend when I was like on the bus and on the car. Went away for the weekend. I'll share more about that soon. This yarn is Legacy Fiber Arts. Here we go. Legacy Fiber Arts, and the color is Shipwreck. And this is a special colorway that is only at Frame and Fiber in New Jersey. Okay, I knew that the camera was about to cut us off, so had to stop real quick. But these are just really simple vanilla socks, and I'm making them for a friend. So I think I'm doing 64 stitches. I did a 2x2 rib. I have just finished the leg. I think that I did a short leg last time that I made him socks. I didn't take good notes on my Ravelry page, so I'm making sure to do that this time. But I'm pretty sure by looking at the pictures that I only did 20 rounds here and then 40 rounds for the leg. So 60 rounds for the entirety of the leg. So I am ready to start my heel, and I'm going to do my favorite, Fish Lips Kiss heel by Patty Joy White. So my goal was to finish one leg this week, and I have finished that. And then my goal for this week is to do a foot, which I'm now realizing is not a very even division of knitting because I have to do the heel and the foot is longer than the leg because it's a man-sized foot. So I probably should have gone ahead and done the heel this past week, but whatever. If I don't finish them by the end of May, it's all right. It's not for any specific special occasion. I am just working on them as I can and taking them around with me. So that is it for whips this week. Really pleased with myself for being able to work a little bit on each and every one. We are skipping over the rotating segment this week and going straight to news simply because I did not get anything prepared for that rotating segment. But next week I will be doing a stash update, and I do have a lot to update you on because I have been aggressively going through stash this month. So I started a new page in my notebook, and I also did some cleaning out of stash. So I'm really excited to share that, but that will be coming up next week. I also have a winner to announce from last week's giveaway and just several announcements because there's so many different events and activities coming up. So first things first, there was a new video this week here on the channel all about organizing yarn. It was an emergency yarn organization situation. Really, it was more an emergency bag situation. I could not even close the basket that I keep all my bags in because I had so many. So I had a few quick things that I wanted to get organized and recorded a video all about it. So you can go watch that. I will link it down below. It premiered on Tuesday. And just an FYI, if you're ever able to join me on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern time, most weeks I am premiering my Tuesday videos, which means they start at 10 a.m. And if you're there at the time that they premiere, I am there in the live chat. Other knitters are there and we're just chatting while the video premieres. So it's always fun. It's something that you can do like as you're getting ready for the day or while you're like at work, if you're able to do that, because you can just listen with headphones and chat if you want to or not and just watch do that. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I got a lot of things organized, including my stitch markers, my bags, and my yarn. I didn't do my entire yarn like organization shelf, that's what it's called. I didn't do my entire shelf, but I do have plans for that coming up, so stay tuned. What else is going on? Okay, the spring shawl cal is coming quickly to a close. I can't believe it because we started back on April 4th and we are going to be finishing and closing things out next Thursday, May 26th. So make sure if you have finished your outstanding shawl, which I do have mine right here, so let me grab it. I finished mine last week. I can't believe I finished it early. So unlike me. Oh, okay, you know what, I'm not going to say that. This is the new me that finishes things early. But this is the Outstanding Shawl by Christy Archer. And I've got the pattern down below. I've got a whole segment just for the spring shawl cal. So Yarnia, Sharp Yarnia, and I are hosting this along with the designer Christy, and we are getting so close to closing it out. So once you finish your shawl, if you want to enter to win a prize, make sure you use the Google form. I have it linked in my video, also on knittynatty.com, also in my Instagram, like link in bio thing, lots of places to find it. So make sure to go submit that Google form. And when you do, there's another question that says, do you want to participate in the Zoom for the closing ceremony? So our closing ceremony is on Thursday, May 26th at 6 p.m. And there's two ways to participate. You can either come and watch on YouTube. It's going to be here on the Knitty Natty channel. So just come watch on YouTube. Or you can participate via Zoom first if you have finished your shawl. So what that will look like is you'll get an email from me probably pretty soon, just saying like, here's the Zoom link, like join, we're gonna get together a little bit early before 6 o'clock. And then on the live YouTube video, we will have participants from the CAL get to show off their finished shawls, and then we'll close that part out and it'll just be myself and Kathleen from Yarnia, and we'll chat on YouTube via the chat and give away our prizes and all of that. So it's gonna be a really fun closing ceremony. And if you can't make it live, it's all gonna be recorded and on my YouTube channel to watch later. So if you finished a shawl and you want to, you can participate via Zoom. If you finish a shawl and you don't want to, come participate via YouTube. If you didn't finish your shawl or didn't participate, still come participate via YouTube. And that will be on Thursday the 26th at 6 p.m. There was something else that just came to mind that I was gonna say, but now I have forgotten. Oh, I actually think that I might be moving around my podcast next week because of this video on Thursday. So in case I haven't decided fully, or I think I did decide ahead of time, but forgot to look before I started recording, but there's a chance that I may move next week's podcast to either the weekend or the following week, just because I'm gonna have this Thursday evening video and I wanna have the channel like open and ready for that. So just an FYI, if there's no podcast next Thursday morning, it will be coming maybe at a later date. Okay, and then, oh yeah, so many things going on. So Sock Week 2022 is going to be happening from July 10th to July 17th, but the sponsor announcement video is coming up really soon on Tuesday, May 31st. For the first time, I'm going to do a live reveal. So you'll want to make sure you join me. I think I may make that one at noon. See, there's a lot of things that I haven't decided yet. Is it going to be at 10 a.m. or is it going to be at noon? No, I think I already decided. 10 a.m. Tuesday, May 31st, because my videos are normally at 10. Anyway, it's going to be a live YouTube video, and this is where I'm going to show you all of the sponsors for Sock Week 2022. So these are all of the official partners for this make-along. They've made an exclusive special item just for Sock Week, and I have everything in now, and it is amazing. I'm probably going to reveal our Sock Week 2022 logo earlier than that, so just look on Instagram because I'll probably put it there first. But we're gonna have merch with the logo and yarn and a bag and some new things this year that I've never had before. So I'm really excited to share those. So that will all be revealed live on YouTube, and then you can of course watch it later if you're not able to come live. And then all of the items will go on sale on Friday, June 3rd. So this is to give you enough time to order and then receive your items before the make along starts July 10th. But you'll definitely want to set aside some time for purchasing anything because they usually go really fast. These are all small businesses that I'm working with, and they have a limited capacity, so you'll want to make sure to grab things as soon as they go on sale. And the time for that is going to be coming very soon. So excited. I actually do have the info page for 2022 linked down below too. I'm going to be offering a lot of different opportunities to participate in other ways other than just the public aspect, all of the free things that are going to be YouTube videos and Instagram lives and stuff like that. There's going to be even more offered this year, so you can get a preview of that, and I'll cover all of it in the announcement video. Okay, Perfect Fit Socks, my sock course, is reopening on Sunday, May 22nd. If you're on the email waitlist, you'll get a link on Sunday, May 22nd. And if you are not, you will get an announcement on Monday, but you should be able to get a spot either way. Just if you want that reminder, be on the waitlist. It just helps to kind of get that information early. So I've got an info page linked down below. All the info is there on the Perfect Fit Socks course, and you can find out all about it and sign up for the email list. Okay, last thing, so much news. There's just so many things going on. I think from this point in the year on into the fall, it's just constant, it's like prime knitting time, prime knitting and crochet time. So I'm excited about that. Okay. Oh, actually I don't have anything to show, so I don't need to set my computer over there. But I do have a winner from last week's Mint Rain Hand-Dyed Yarns giveaway. This is a 24 stripe Advent skein. So made for socks, 24 colors, 24 stripes for Advent, and you are going to receive that directly from Mint Rain hand dyed yarns. So the winner is Zara Crawley. Congratulations, Zara. And I hope it is Zara, but if it's not, congratulations, and let me know how to say your name when you email me so I can get that correct. But please send me an email, natalie@knittynatty.com, with your address, and I will pass that information on. Thank you so much to Mint Rain Hand Dyed Yarns for giving away a skein, and go check them out. I'll make sure to link them down below. They also gave us a discount, and I think it will expire at the end of May, so make sure to use that up quickly. And then just a quick update, I heard from last week's winner, Audrey, from the New Jersey Wool Walk Prize, and it is on the way to you, Audrey. Okay, that's everything for news. I had a spectacular weekend. I mean, I usually have a good weekend, but this weekend was like unusually social for me in the best of ways, and I had so much fun. So on Friday, I met Olga, who is Gotham Knits. If you don't follow Olga on Instagram, you must follow her because she makes the funniest reels. She's so sassy and great. But we met at a coffee shop, and it was amazing. It was like a flower shop / coffee shop, and I got a rose latte, and it was pink, so it matched my something cozy sweater, and it was delicious too. It was amazing. So if you're ever on the east side of Manhattan, go to Remi, R-E-M-I. It's a coffee shop and flower shop, and it's really good. There's 2 locations, and they're almost identical, and they're like 8 blocks from each other, or 5 blocks from each other, or something like that. Just go to one of them. They're really, really good. So I had so much fun. We just met up and we knit. It was a little bit rainy that day, but I took the bus there. We knit together, and then it was not raining when it was time to leave. So I walked the couple of miles home, and it was fantastic. And then I went to the beach in New Jersey this weekend and met up with some of my online knitting friends from Instagram, which was absolutely amazing. We went to one of their families has a beach home, and so we went to that house, and we my gosh, what did we not do? We like played games, we went to dinner, we got up in the morning and had coffee and knitted on the couch. Oh my gosh, I don't know, what else did we do? We did go to the beach, but it was raining, so it wasn't like a put on your swimsuit kind of thing. Oh, we got in the hot tub though. That was really nice. But it was just the best weekend to just be away, not have distractions of like, I feel like I need to do laundry or do X, do Y, do Z, and just be away and just do a ton of knitting and crochet. That's how I got so much done on my brioche shawl this weekend, because I just worked almost exclusively on that. I did a little bit on my crochet sweater, but I worked on that a lot, and it was just the absolute best time. And I didn't vlog this weekend because I wanted to just relax and be in the moment. And vlogging is super fun. I love vlogging. I love making vlogs, but it takes like a second level of focus where you're always kind of thinking like, oh, I should make sure to capture this or that. So I just decided, you know what? It's okay. I'm just going to relax this weekend. But I have great news, because Brianna, who is the Little Wolf Knits, was one of the people. Actually, she was hosting us this weekend, and she made a vlog on her YouTube channel. So if you want to see a vlog of this weekend, you can go over to the Little Wolf Knits, and I will, I'll link that vlog specifically, but definitely go over to Brianna's channel and give her, subscribe to her channel, because she does vlogs and I think podcasts, but I know she does vlogs all the time. And she's a yarn dyer. But anyway, we had the best weekend, and so I was kind of glad that somebody did capture a vlog, even if it wasn't like my own vlog here. Actually, better that it wasn't my own vlog, because I just got to participate and relax, and I didn't have to do any editing or anything. So yeah, if you want to check out what the weekend was like, you can still watch the vlog, which is great. So yeah, I'll link that down below, but that was pretty much the entire weekend. It was really, really great. I had a fantastic time. And it's so funny because I grew up in Tennessee, and then right after college, I moved to Texas. So, you know, my whole like life of what is like, you know, what is general that people do is based off of those two states. But it's interesting now living here in New York City and like kind of like knowing people in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, like Connecticut, you know, just like Maryland, different areas. And it's kind of a different lifestyle. Like summer means so much here because the winter is cold. Whereas like in Texas, you're just like, summer means school's out. It's not really like that big of a deal because the weather is nice all year long. Actually, summer is like the worst weather because it's too hot. But like here, it's a different feeling. Like the weather, when it's nice, people are so much happier and they're getting outside and they're taking advantage of it. And it's just a totally different thing. And it's very typical, I think, for people to have maybe a beach home or go on the weekends to a beach home with friends. And that's just like a very common thing. Whereas in Texas, like you're like staying indoors at all costs because it's too hot and it's just different. It's just totally different. And it's really fun to kind of be a part of a different culture and learn those things. And then to be meeting people now where I can go to a beach house and hang out. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, it was the best weekend. So what have I been doing as far as watching, listening, and reading? Well, I've been listening to nothing. I haven't really been in a podcast, like a Apple podcast mode lately, but I have been continuing to read the book, A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. And I think this book is going to take me all month. I don't know how long it is because I'm reading on my Kindle, but I read at night and I read for 30 minutes Monday through Friday in the morning. And I have been reading this book for 2 weeks. So I think it's a pretty long book, but I'm really enjoying it. It's a little slow, but it is good. Yeah, so I'm just enjoying that one, and I'm only like 45% of the way through. So it's going to take me the rest of May, I think, to get through that book, but I am enjoying it. And then we haven't really been watching that much lately. We were watching hockey playoffs, but now our team is out of the playoffs, the Dallas Stars, but the New York Rangers are still in, so I guess we'll still be watching some hockey. But other than that, we have not been specifically watching any shows lately, and we've only been watching college humor on YouTube and watching just silly short clips and shows and laughing because that just feels really, really good right now. Last up, we have weekly wins. And honestly, it feels a little like, I don't know what the right word is for it, but it just doesn't feel super right to be like, oh, you know, this is the knitting progress that I've made this week, when there were 2 racially motivated shootings in the country this week. It's a really tough time. And so instead, I kind of wanted to talk about just why we do weekly wins. And I know I talk about this every week, but for me personally, kind of looking at my week and recognizing for myself personally where I have been really showing up for myself, trusting myself, following through on things that I've wanted, big and small, is so important as a mental health exercise, especially because there is just a lot going on and it can be very difficult to sometimes see positive things. I find it really helpful just to kind of do that every single week. So my weekly wins, I do have them for this week, but they're actually really similar to last week, which is just that I'm proud of myself for making progress on each of my knitting projects and for meeting the goals that I wrote down for myself. It's a little thing, but I can tell that I recognize that because it helps me feel like I am making progress and that I'm in control of something. And, you know, sometimes knitting is what we have to hold on to and to bring us comfort and to help us feel stability when there's other things out of our control. And I think that, you know, knitting and crochet in the same vein, they're just so much more than just a craft. And they are to me, and they may be to you. And just taking the time to like go, okay, what have I done this week? Like last week, it was really hard for me to do X. And this week, you know what? I did it. I made meals for myself at home instead of like just eating popcorn, or I don't know, I knitted on a project that I didn't really want to because I know it's important to finish it for this person. I don't know, just like all of the little things. It's just really great to recognize. So I want to encourage you to just check in on your own mental health and take care of yourself however that looks like. And also just a plug for counseling and therapy. I think they're so important. If you can afford it, do 4 weeks of therapy, do 1 month, because even if you think you don't need it, you may be surprised when you actually go into those sessions. There's so many online ones. BetterHelp is really great. But you may be surprised when you go in to like talk with a therapist or like log in to talk with a therapist, how many things you're holding on to. And it's just so good to talk about them. Even if you just do 4 weeks and then stop. If you can afford it, I think it's like $280. It's a lot of money, but it's an investment in your own mental health. So just please check on yourself this week. Do what you can for yourself. And yeah, I just love you all and want to make sure that you are doing okay. As okay as we can be. Thank you so much for watching this week. We have so much fun coming up with all of the make-alongs, sock week, Spring Shawl Cow is closing out. So many fun things going on. So please come participate. Soak up the joy in the knitting. You deserve it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.